I want us to look back at the problem that we had, which was 7.2%. Now, I don't know if it's Gabby or Siapa, one of you were saying I could write this as 7 and 2/10, right? Okay. Now, if I can write it like that, can I go ahead and reduce the 2/10 to 1/5? Would you let me do that, please? I beg of you. What do you mean, sure? It's either yes or no. It should be yes, sir. I'll tell you what. So this should be 7 and 1/5%, and the percent really means what? We said per 100. So when you look at this, this looks kind of weird. This is 7 and 1/5 per 100. How do I do division when I have mixed numbers? Times what? Oh, so you want to convert this to an improper fraction? Good. That's what you should do. Why do you seem so scared? It's just me. Maybe I shouldn't have, followed my teeth to look like fangs. Maybe people would not be as scared of me. So when I do this, how do I convert this to an improper fraction? 5 times 7 plus 1. So what do you have? So 36/5. I'm going to do this for you. This is all divided by 100, right? So I wrote it a little bit differently, but for a good reason. How do I divide a fraction by a number? Remember, you keep the first guy the same.
Right, and you change it.
And you change this guy. That's understood to be over 1, so this is 1 over 100. And it becomes multiplication. Remember KFC? Keep, flip, change the sign. Well, now I need to reduce this guy. Can I do any kind of reducing? What? What can you do? 2 goes in here 18 times and in here 50 times. Is there anything else I can do? I can reduce by another factor of 2, so that goes in here 9 times and in here 25 times. Is there any more reducing that I can do? No. So what do you have in the numerator? What do we have? You have 9, and in the denominator it's 5 times 25 is 125. And what did I get when I did it before? Did I get 9 over 125? Yeah. See? Just like I had it before. Like a boss. See, I might have preferred the first way better, but I'm glad we did it this way because sometimes you need to convert to an improper fraction and work it out that way. Just one more quick thing to show you. If you need to convert a fraction to a decimal, it's actually pretty easy. To convert to a decimal, all you have to do is multiply this times, check this out, multiply times 100%, and you can look at this as 100 over 1. Do you know what 100% is? What does 100% literally mean? 100 per 100. And what's 100 per 100? 1. So I'm really just multiplying times 1. So what's 1/4 times 100? Or this is 100 over 4, right? So that's just 25%. Now, there are other ways that you could go about doing this, because you know that 1/4 is what as a decimal? 0.25, which would become 25%. Just like if I were to take this, 3/5. How would I convert this guy to a decimal? But just what you saw, I can multiply 3/5 times what? Times 100 over 1%. So in this middle part right here, you're just trying to reduce this guy. You're just doing fraction work. Don't even worry that there's a percent here. Don't even worry about this other stuff. How do you reduce 3/5 times 100? 5 goes into 100 how many times? 20 times. What do you end up with? You end up with 60%. So what do you guys think about that? Or if I had 1/6, if I do 1/6, so that's 1/6 times 100 over 1%. Can you reduce this? How can you reduce this? By a factor of 2, so that gives you a 3, and that gives you a 50. So this is kind of weird. This is 50/3%. Does that seem weird to you guys? Have it make more sense, because you would not see this if you were going out to the store. Make this a mixed number. How many times does 3 go into 50? You're trying to convert the 50/3 into a mixed number. So 3 goes in here how many whole times? It'd go in 16 times with a remainder of 2. So that would really be 16 2/3%. Right? And sometimes you may see this rounded out, because if you look at this, this would be about 16.7%. Because what does the 2/3 look like as a decimal? It's one of those guys you're supposed to know. 2/3 as a decimal is point what? Oh, goodness. It's 0.6 repeating. So that would round, and you'd approximate that to about 16.7%.